In the 18th century, the main occupation of the Indian people was agriculture. During the British rule, the revenue on land kept on increasing, and the reasons for this were many. As you have already read in previous chapter, that Britishers had come to India for trade. Slowly, they conquered the vast territory of India, for which they needed a lot of money. They also needed money for trade, means buying of local goods and exporting them, for maintaining the army as well as for running the administration. They started taking taxes from the farmers, made changes in revenue collection system, and introduced three main policies to collect revenue. These were number 1, the permanent settlement, number 2, Mahalwadi settlement, and number 3, Ryotwari settlement. Permanent settlement was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. The East India Company permitted Lord Cornwallis to implement the permanent settlement in Bengal. It was ordered that first he should make the revenue settlement with the peasants for 10 years, and later on this system should be made permanent. It was introduced in 1793 in Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Basically, permanent settlement agreement between the East India Company and Bengal landlords. Main features of permanent settlement. Under this system, zamindars were recognized as the owner of the land. They were given the rights to collect the revenue from the peasants. Before permanent settlement acts, zamindars were the agents of land collectors for the company. They have no land occupying rights. After permanent settlement act, zamindars got land occupying rights and they become the owner of the land. The amount of the revenue to be paid to the company was fixed for a period of time. They need not to revise it every year. If the zamindars did not pay the fixed amount on time, his property was sold off to another zamindar. Merits and demerits. The improvement in agriculture influenced the trade. As a result, the province of Bengal became the most prosperous one. Britishers financially become secure. They knew in advance as how much revenue was coming in from a certain area, and the company became free from fixing revenue each year. Means every year they had to revise the amount, now they become free. It gave a stable revenue income to the company. All the landlords who became the owner of the land felt obliged to the English government and became its true supporters at the time of revolt. They supported the British against the freedom movement also. It benefited zamindars. If zamindars extracted surplus revenue from the farmers, he could keep this extra amount for himself. That's how this system benefited zamindars. Demerits of permanent settlements. Actually, these settlements proved defective due to the following reasons. English people expected too much from this system. but their expectations did not fulfill due to lack of proper measurement. This system also proved harmful for those landlords who failed to deposit the required revenue. As a result, their land was sold off to another zamindars. The condition of the farmers could not be improved as much as was expected. The poor farmers continued to be the victims of the harassments of the landlords who exploited them for their own selfish motive. This system hurt the national feeling of the people because this system created a special class of zamindars in the country who became the true devotees of English Company, the true devotees of East India Company.